Sweden reopens rape case against Julian Assange.
Here's a summary of the article.
Swedish prosecutors are to reopen an investigation into a rape allegation against Julian Assange. A lawyer for one of the women involved in the Swedish allegations subsequently asked for the investigation to be resumed. Assange had also faced an investigation over a second sex-related allegation, but this was dropped in 2015 because time had run out. Assange is being held in Belmarsh High Security Prison in South London after being sentenced to 50 weeks jail for a bail violation. Assange unsuccessfully fought in the British courts to have the Swedish extradition order and preliminary investigation dropped. WikiLeaks said the reopening of the Swedish investigation would give Assange a chance to clear his name. Since Julian Assange was arrested on the 11th of April 2019, there has been considerable political pressure on Sweden to reopen their investigation, but there has always been political pressure surrounding this case, Christian Ransson, WikiLeaks editor-in-chief, said in a statement.
This post received a score of 1631, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
From what I've read, this seems like a legal long shot. The only one of the charges that can still be brought forward is the non-aggravated rape charge. The others have passed their statute of limitations. Rape cases aren't that easy to win in courts, especially this long after the fact, and especially not in a situation where, as far as I can tell, the victim and the perp were in agreement about consent existing at one point in the timeline. But I agree that it should be investigated, even if the end result doesn't even see a trial.
The charge that's going to stick the most is the bail skipping one.
You can get by with having done many terrible things in your past, but the black mark of bail skipper stays with you for life.
Yeah, and you'll be kicking yourself in the ass for it if you ever go back to jail. I didn't appear for a speeding ticket and my bonds thereafter were usually higher as a result. I've been to jail many times and prison for a couple years. Finally out of that life though.
Congratulations.
Of course they did. Now he's back where he started 7 years ago.
No, 2 out of 3 charges expired.
After watching Assange over the past decade, I can't imagine anyone is looking to broadcast leaked information to the world again anytime soon.
And that's the whole point.
Look how lost it is on the masses too. Sad face. They just myopically blame him for Trump.
Out of the loop. How is he at fault for Trump?
He said true things about Hillary and the DNC.
And also withheld true things about the RNC to sway the election.
I hope he is extradited to Sweden first. At least then there is a chance he won't be extradited to the US.
Yep, Sweden has a much more restrictive extradition treaty with the US than the UK. It requires both a higher evidentiary standard, and includes a very strong political crimes exemption. His odds of beating a US extradition request are far stronger in Sweden than in the UK.
Except for those times that Sweden allowed CIA agents to just black bag people without going through the legal process. Which is something the UK distinctly doesn't allow on its soil.
Greater than which is something the UK distinctly doesn't allow on its soil. This is a joke, right? But I thought the US put Sweden up to these charges. Why would they do so if it hampered their ability to prosecute Assange themselves? Thinking face.
Julian's professed fear of being sent to the US is beginning to remind me of Brer Rabbit begging not to be thrown into the briar patch.
When WikiLeaks was pretty much new, he was popular because he dropped several really big info dumps that revealed wrongdoing by the US government. Now, you know the government, no matter who is in power, is going to do their best to make him into a villain, because it's a tool of the government that's infringing your constitutional rights in the first place. This isn't a left or right thing, there's government institution who trod on your rights as a matter of course because it's their job. Data is data, and it's a good thing that someone out there is willing to break the rules so we can know what oversteps the government is taking, at all levels, even when it's politically painful for you.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.